I told you I got the flyest beat, y'all. You know how I do got the flyest beat. Welcome to another episode of Pierre's Panic Room. You know how we do it. This time we in LA. We at my man Soul Folks, S-O-L-E Folks place in Leimert Park. Come out and support it. It's a black-owned place. We're shooting up here now today, so I want y'all to support it. Thank y'all. Like I said, this is season 5. Thank y'all for supporting the show. Y'all, when I'm on the streets, y'all tell me how much you like Pierre's Panic Room, and I like when y'all say Pierre's Panic Room, not just a damn Panic Room. I'm trying to get my name out there some more. I know my name's out there a little bit, but I need some more. So it's Pierre's Panic Room. If you tell me you like Pierre, the Panic Room, I'm gonna keep on walking. Like I don't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about when you say Pierre's Panic Room. Okay. So no, but for real, thank y'all so much. I'm really appreciate it. It's a blessing, man, to get these people come through here and talk to me, y'all. I've had some great people, and today's no different, man. This young gentleman, it's kind of funny. You know, when I mention his name, some people are like, I don't know. But as soon as they see a picture of him, oh, hell yeah, I know who he is. And it all comes up. I can understand that sometimes. You know, I went through that too. Let's give it up for Chicago's own Antwon Tanner. Let's show him some love. Come on, brother. I appreciate you got dressed for me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, you know.
Now, you here, man. He not fucking with you, man.
Maxed and relaxed.
There it is right here. Man, like I said in the intro, man, do you feel that sometimes a lot of people just don't, know your name, but when they see your face, it's like, boom.
Well, not necessarily. It's more black people know your face.
Right, okay.
White people know my name.
What?
So it's
okay.
really weird because,
Yeah.
I was on the show for 9 years on One Tree Hill.
Right.
And it's different with your black fans. Your black fans call you by your character name.
Sure, without a doubt.
Your white fans, they know your name. They go
right.
Google
they
you.
They
and
do the
say,
research.
Yeah,
right,
they go,
right.
hey, Antwon, so. So it's kind of different, with the fans. I see some fans, oh, what's up, Worm? Or what's up, John? You know what I'm saying? They call me by the character name, but the white folks know. They call me Antwon Tanner. They know who I am. They, so they know everything about you. You know what I'm saying? And that's before social media. So that's what made it crazier.
What trips me out is, again, I didn't know the breadth of your career, bro. You know what I'm saying? I see you a lot. We always see each other in clubs. Back in the days, what's up, dog? How you doing? Whoop, whoop, whoop. But then when I started having to do the research, I said, damn, I can't talk about everything, man. Your shit is long, man. You should be, I know you are, well, I hope you are. You should be proud of that, brother. You know what I'm saying? In this business, to work like you've been working, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's a blessing. It's just funny story. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to. Actually, I was doing an episode of Moesha one time, and Fredro Starr, my big brother. You know what I'm saying? Been in the game forever.
Right.
He was about to. I had got an audition for The Wood.
Okay.
So when I got the audition for The Wood, I came in and Fredro was like, "Yo, what you going in to read for?" And I was like, "I'm going in to read for Boo." I ain't playing that. Nigga, I'm hard. They trying to make me look soft. Like, what I'm saying? Like, And I was like, but
it's a character.
But I'm like, it's you're an actor.
Right,
you know what I'm
Man,
saying? Nah, you could go do that. You could go do that. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make me not look hard.
Come on,
but that's what it was back then.
Come
you know
on
what I'm
now.
saying? In the 90s.
In the 90s, come on, man.
You gotta be hard. If not, you was soft. You was crossover. You was turning on the hood or whatever.
Right.
So and I went and did that. I went and auditioned, booked it.
Right.
Had a great time working with Rick and Omar and, Tay Diggs and Richard T and DeAndre Bryan, like, you know what I'm saying, working with all the fellas. And that's one of the most memorable scenes in the movie, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it make you look back and go, like when I got in the game at first like it was a hustle, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just something that I could do.
Right.
They noticed me from playing basketball, and then it was like, oh, I could act. Oh, and they gonna pay me to do it.
Right.
It wasn't until I met like Richard Roundtree when I actually like switched up and started focusing on the business because he gave me a crazy test one time, and it was just like, be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
And I had to like, it was like welcome to the league, rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like what he did. So it was like. After that, I don't want to be, like if I make it in the comedy game, I don't want to be the host.
Okay.
I want to be the headliner too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to try to go for the top and see if I could, I can make it at that. So once I changed gears and found it not to just be a hustle, then it was a career. So that's what made me get serious about it. Yeah.
That's dope. It's funny you was talking about how people think you the character sometimes. I thought the Pac, I did a video with him, and he told me after he did Juice, people were afraid of him. Mm-hmm. They thought he was You know what I'm saying? Bishop. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's like, man, he go to clubs. People thought he's like that. I was like, wow. And sometimes, like I say, federal don't want to be labeled somewhere because we sometimes feel like we as people, I mean, black folks feel like you are that character. Yeah. Like, I just play a character. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't me. Yeah, you know, that's why I can see sometimes why folks, black men, there's a couple of reasons why they don't even want to wear a dress or play a gay character because they don't want to be like, oh man, you know, I don't know about that. I asked somebody, I put a question out one time. Let's say you, not now. I'll say younger you. Well, I don't know. I'll say you. Would you have done a photo shot, you know, like an ad print, of like, you know, I don't know if they would have done that, but like, you know, like say, you had STD, you know what I'm saying? Would you like, you know, I had an STD, I took this Valtrex or whatever the fuck it is, and I'm better now. It's a picture of you, but you know, you ain't got it. As an actor, would you done something like that?
I did it. I did it was an AIDS video. I forget the artist's name, but I was in the video. He was a really big artist, but I can't remember his name. Black dude with dreads though, but his music was dope. Did you have people look at you a little different? Like, hey, dog,
I
was all in the video.
I'm saying, what other people look at you like? You ain't man?
I was the character who walked into the clinic with my girlfriend and. They came back and they said that I was HIV positive and we didn't know what we was gonna do. But it was a whole video. I was the lead character in the video.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that, but you know,
I respect artists who can separate. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't. You know. So, but we're gonna do a little backstory. So you what's your family structure first? Like growing up, your mom, dad in the house.
I grew up with 3 women: my mother, my granny, my aunt. That's who raised me.
Wow. So, okay.
Yeah.
Now you was raised in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we do Cubs or White Sox?
Cubs.
Cubs? Okay. Are you a staunch Bulls fan or
Bulls all day long?
Not just because Michael and all that.
When we had Dave Corzine, Lando Woolridge, I was a fan then. I remember Rory Sparrow, Sam Vincent.
Okay. So you went through some hard times.
Yeah.
Before it got nice.
Yeah. We wasn't winning nothing.
How did you feel when Mike left?
I mean, it was heartbreaking. By that time, though, I was living in California.
Okay, but still.
I was. I think it was. I moved to California after we won the first championship. Right. So that was after we beat Magic. That was 91. Right. I moved to California in 92.
Okay.
So, but then we won in 92. We won in 93. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Took them 2 years off and got them other 3.
Right. But then when he left, when he went to over here to DC, you know, to the Wizards.
I mean, I'm still a big Mike fan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I always think.
Right.
It's him, Kobe, then LeBron.
Hold
you know
on,
what I'm saying?
Hold on, man. I cut some microphones off, man. What's wrong?
No, that's what it is. I mean, you know, with that debate, it's just weird because everybody could say, "Oh, LeBron is," and I understand what he did great. I'm just saying that me, just as a basketball player, when I always get into the debate with people, I ask them, I say, "Okay, cool." I said, "So, if you're guarding LeBron, what would you let him do?" And everybody says, "I'll let him shoot." Mm-hmm. So you know that's a weakness. Right. Okay, so I asked the same question. What would you let Jordan do?
Really nothing.
What would you let Kobe do?
Right.
Nothing. Right. So there's no weakness to their game. And they play D on top of that. So that's why my numbers is 1, 2, 3.
Right. You know, it's funny. I'm a LeBron fan, you know. I just hate when he, you know, the bitching and the flopping and whatever. So I asked one time a friend of mine named Derek Anderson, you know, because I was like, I think LeBron, you know, just like he's more, well, you know, if he need to take over a game, well, whatever. Michael did too, but it's different bodies, but different bodies. You know, you're putting a guard versus a forward center and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to put those two together. The better debate would be between Kobe and I'm saying if you want to compare Kobe and Michael. You know what I'm saying? They kind of play the same game. But I was talking to Derek and he said, I'm gonna go with Jordan because Jordan played against better players and did what he did than now. That's what he felt. You know, he said more Hall of Famers of true, real grit. Because when you had to play the Detroit Pistons, Indiana, the Knicks, you know, you playing them boys. You wasn't going down the middle just easy breezy. You know, you know what I'm saying.
He was almost injured.
Yeah. So when he said that, I decided to say, you know, to me, I'm gonna put Mike as number one because he did all that versus some tough players. He wasn't the biggest dude on the play. At least LeBron is big. You know what I'm saying? Big body, so he can take over some stuff.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Also a Bears fan.
No, Niners.
You say Chicago?
Yeah. Well, what it was, my uncle used to work for he used to work at Soldier Field. But he was a really big Joe Montana fan. So before, you know, football was like, when I was young, you know what I'm saying, it was just my uncle in the house. Joe Montana, Joe Montana, Joe Montana. That's all I knew. I knew Walter Payton and I knew Joe Montana. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
okay.
It was like, but he was like, yeah, Joe Montana, they gonna win it all. They gonna win it all. So my first game I ever went to, my uncle took me, was the Niners versus the Bears, and we smacked them. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was a Niners fan since I could remember. You know what I'm saying? But I did pull for the Bears when I was 10 years old when they won the Super Bowl. That was it.
That's what
85.
Yeah, Perry and all them and the dancing and shit. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so what I'm gonna ask you about, because it bothers me, man. You know, when you get on YouTube, you can go into an algorithm if you watch one thing, it keeps going. You grew up in Chicago, and it ain't only Chicago, but I'm in the algorithm of Chicago. Mm-hmm. What do you know about like the BD, the GD? Why is it so, even to this day, like, what is it that they just need to, they popping each other off like crazy, man?
I don't know what it is now, but I grew up, I'm a Vice Lord. I'm a CVL. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the South Side, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not active. I'm old, you know what I'm saying? Right. But, you know, back then it just was, that's all we had to look forward to. Like, that's what we were taught, you know what I'm saying? And that's all we knew, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, in that area, and first off, like, I never actually got jumped into the gang originally.
Okay.
I just grew up on that street.
Right.
And I went to school, and if one of my friends was getting jumped, I tried to help him fight.
Sure.
But now I'm already associated. Oh yeah, he from over there, so he one of them. So at that point, you got to get your aid and assistance. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go certain places without, you know, you got to be affiliated.
So that's why you joined, because of really a protection.
They make you join. It was like basically like, I didn't physically have to join, but now he from that block, he one of them. So you're going to get treated like one of them.
Wow.
But you can't call the block to come help you if you ain't one of them. But everybody else is associating you like you are, because you on that block. You with them. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well reap the benefits. If they trying to jump me, I could call on the block, and the block going to pull up. You know what I'm saying?
How do you think kids do when they don't get in it? They just get beat up and the shit moved somewhere else? Or like, how does that, do you have to be part of it? Or is it, if it ain't, you with your ass whooped, that's it?
At that time, that's what it was.
And that's what, the 80s?
90s, yeah, that's what it was. The late 80s, early 90s,
right.
yeah, that's what it was. Gangbanging was everything in Chicago. Taking your shoes, taking your hat, taking your starter jacket. That was what it was. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kids was doing. That's what they was on. Yeah,
this is what bothers me, man. Like I said, it ain't a Chicago problem. It's a national problem. But Chicago, whatever, with the King Vons and all them, and, you know, FGBG Duck and all them, you know, all them gangs go against each other. So many gangs. The problem is social media is one, is because you start smashing on niggas on social media. What? He said that about you? Millions of people see that. And I don't like, because outside folks hear, ooh, niggas in Detroit, or let's say Nebraska. You ain't living this life, bro. Just you clowning this dude. You know, oh, you want to take that sucker? Brother, you in Montana, homie. Yep. You ain't got to live this. And now they see it, they feel like, oh, can't take that. I feel like that. And they straight murdering, either murdering or going to jail. They straight murdering each other. Like, hold up, y'all. Come on, kids.
It's going down in the city.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, what I don't like is if you see a rapper, young kids, you know, holding a gun in their video, money, beams, whatever, and they'll rap about killing somebody who they've killed, you know what I'm saying? On 9th Street, you'll come around here. And that video still played. Okay, they still play. The young black men play. If I put a video about slapping a gay guy, they yanking that sucker off.
Oh yeah,
they got to go.
Yeah. It's you know.
So why? What the fuck? So we can show black people killing each other and let's keep it going. And I'm not even being. I'm just saying what I see. I'm not making a conspiracy. Like, what's up?
Well, what it is black folks, we nosy. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. We are nosy. We want to know what's happening. Just. Like with the whole Diddy and 50, with the whole we nosy. We tune in just to see what 50's saying every day. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny. What is he saying? We tune in to see that. You know what I'm saying? If we don't. Other than that, we're bored.
I can go with that, but I can't go when it comes to killing, man.
I mean, that's.
People's lives are gone.
Well, I have to, you know, I grew up in that era.
Right.
So the thing is, what I try to do, like, I move my kids away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Lucky enough to do that.
Yeah, I move my kids away from it. I didn't, you know, I know in the neighborhoods that I raised my kids in, when I hear pow, 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 I 100% know it's fireworks.
Right.
We didn't know that growing up in Chicago. When you hear pow, 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 it's get down, get out the way, move around. You know what I'm saying? So
that's real.
But that's what we had to that's what we had to endure at that time and overcome it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the narrative that they push, so we got to roll with it.
But yeah, I just don't like the fact, like I said, if you hurt someone else, they ain't young and black, you go get that thing. You slap a dog on a video, they yanking that video down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But with us, it's like, come on, man, millions of views, and I don't know. Now I heard, you had to get shipped out of Chicago. Didn't you get out of Chicago?
Yeah, my mama made me leave.
Yeah, because of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we was involved in.
How old was you?
I was 15.
Oh yeah, that's prime age right there.
She was saying you either gonna go to prison, or you gonna end up in a box. So I don't want to bury my son. My dad lived in California, so she was like, I'm done, you going with him. So they put me on the plane, and right after school was over, I was in California with no friends, no nothing, and you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a culture shock.
Yeah,
because you moved to where? When you came to California, what part of California were you in?
El Monte.
Oh, hell yeah, that's way different than Chicago.
Yeah, but what was crazy was it was just like Chicago because it was more racist because the Mexicans didn't like black people out here. So that was was a culture shock for me when I first got out here because they was like, yo, what's up, mayate? And that means nigga. And I was just like, oh, well, shit, what's good?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
not knowing they really wanted to get at me, but I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So that was a culture shock because in Chicago and New York, back east, the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans, they black. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like they live together. They, you know what I'm saying? Even though they eat different food and they got a little accent, they still black. So it's like coming out here, I didn't know that they didn't like each other. That was the culture shock for me when I got to California. I was just like, wow. Right. It wasn't more so the gangs, the Bloods, and the Crips, because they was actually more accepting if they know you wasn't what they was. Right. I played basketball, so they were just like, oh, he hoop. Right. You know what I'm saying? But the Mexicans was like, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? And it was I don't want to see you around here no more. You like, really? I live down the street. You know what I'm saying? So it was like that. Yeah, that was way different when I came out here.
Right. Wow. So that's the next question about you loving basketball. That's one of your loves.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Right. You to this day you still hoop?
Yes, sir.
You the OG on the court?
Yeah, I'm an old head now.
You got the old All-Star Converse on, shorts.
Not that old.
Okay.
Them
and the glasses and
shit. Yeah, not that old, but I still play with the young boys a little bit, but these knees ain't in. So you know what I'm saying? Now it's once a week, and I'm affiliate for 3 days, and it's all upper body.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
I box a lot, but I still do boxing, but I used to play all kind of sports. You know, even being a comedian and all that. And one time about in 2009 when Michael Jackson died, I was playing football, and I went to, back in Atlanta, and I went to get a catch, and I came down and cracked my knee. And I had to get 3 screws in it, and I was by myself. I had no wife and no family taking care of me, so I had to get like crawl to places in the house, man, hobble and shit. And I had to do shows. Shows were booked. I get this money. I had to get on a wheelchair. People would ride me, through the airport. That's a comedian. Right. Wheelchair my ass around and shit. It was hobbling. And I had to perform concerts. I had to sit down and do the concert. I had to hobble up there. I haven't played sports since then. I was like, I might shoot with you, talking shit, we just hoop out, whoop, but to play, back and forth, I don't do that no more, man. Yeah. I'm too old, man. When that happened, I was like, I ain't got nobody to take care of me, man. This is bull, so.
Well, I mean, that's how I got discovered. So it was like, they discovered me hooping.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I went in for the audition for Sunset Park.
Right.
And actually me and my big brother Anthony Hall, Chicago.
Come on. Yeah.
We go to the audition. Me and him he like, calm down, cause you being too serious. It's just a movie. So me and him get into it. I'm cracking on him, cause we shit talking.
This is an audition, right?
This at the audition.
Oh, hell.
So I didn't Danny DeVito and them see it, but I'm just fresh off the street. Like, man, hoop, shut up.
Right.
We talking crazy, but they like that interaction. You know what I'm saying? So they was just like, yo, he need to come back and read for the other character. And I was like, well, I don't know how to read, cause I really was going in to be an extra, because they said that they was looking for real basketball players to play against the actors. And I was like, and then they was like, you're really good, so you could get that $100 a day. And I was like, $100 a day?
Right.
Woo-wee, let's go. I was pumped. Right. I never did nothing on TV or nothing like that. I just was a high school basketball player. And when I went after that little interaction with me in Chicago, they noticed me. They asked me to come back and read. I came back and read, got an agent, came back and read. booked it, didn't know nothing about acting, learned everything on set from talent and Terrence Howard. They taught me everything. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing. Didn't know no blocking.
Really?
Yeah, I was straight green. I had been acting a week, and they told me I booked it. I didn't even know what booked it meant. Never flew first class. The first time I ever was in first class. You know what I'm saying?
You was a natural in that. But you just I know it's a basketball, and the basketball skills are important, but you got to be able to talk and communicate with someone, and to be able to do that. And you had never what do you think? I mean, it can be God's talent. I get that, but what do you think is how did you? What the fuck? You just because you didn't care. I ain't give a fuck. I'm going to do whatever.
I think what it is, it's a lot of comedians from Chicago. A whole lot of comedians in this game that's from Chicago. Mm-hmm. We grew up having to basically protect yourself. If you ain't got no jokes to snap back,
it's the fist.
That's it. You a fish. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I had, we ain't had no money. I ain't had really no good clothes, dudes. You a bum, yeah, but I seen that roach run across the TV. You know what I'm saying? So I had to snap back. I was snap back. So it was like I was already class clown and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So I had the personality for it. And I think they probably saw that, you know what I'm saying, along with it. And I was never nervous on set. I didn't care how big of an actor that person was or nothing. My granny always told me, to treat everybody the same, whether it's the EP or the extra. You treat everybody the same. They put their clothes on just like you. Sure. So I never had no hang up on, I idolize Sam Jackson, but I work with him. But at that time when I'm working with you, I'm Worm. Right. I ain't Antwon. Antwon idolizes Sam. But Worm and Coach Carter is two different ball games. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to separate, and that's what I was able to do. So I think it was easier for me to transition into that because I didn't have no fear because I played sports, and sports was competitive, and I'm a competitor. You know what I'm saying? So I think I used that to translate it. That's
dope. That's dope. Well, like you said, with big people, who was it? On the client when you Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh yeah.
You going? He went to Yale, but you know what I'm saying. You went to the big leagues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to not have that back with the granny, hey, he just like a regular dude, or you not to be intimidated by it or whatever, none of that.
Yeah, no experience, but I'll tell you a story. I was really Richard Roundtree. That's what I said. I had a transition with him. Mm-hmm. We was doing 413 Hope Street.
Okay,
that was Damon Wayans' show. What happened was I went in for the pilot. I didn't want to do the pilot because when I saw the pilot, it was really good. I was like, this good. I didn't think this would be coming from Damon Wayans. He a comedian, but this is a drama, and it was really good. So I read it like, damn, this gonna get picked up. Mm-hmm. So the character they had me audition for was this guy who killed this little kid for his shoes. He jacked his shoes and killed him for the shoes. And then I told Eileen McKnight, like, Eileen, I don't want to do it. And she was like, Twan, they offering it to you. I said, yeah, but it's not that, like, I'm saying, no, I don't want to work with Damon and nothing like that. I actually do. But I don't want to kill myself off in the first episode because this dude just going to kill this little boy and you'll never see him again. And I know this show is going to get picked up because it's good.
Right.
And I would watch this. So I don't want to blow my load on one episode when I could book a bigger arc. Maybe I could do 6 episodes or maybe a possible series regular down the line or something like that. I don't want to sell myself short. She's like, Twan, well, they plan on bringing this character back. He's going to be this, he's going to be that. And I was like, yeah, okay, they always say that. But then when they picked it up, they brought the character back. But now it was a totally different character. But I'm thinking they're going to offer it to me, and they told me I had to audition. I was like, what?
Right.
So they just going to change me like they did Ain't Viv? You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
They're just going to switch me up.
Right. Like we don't notice.
You got this light-skinned dude, now this black dude coming on the show. He's not the same dude. So I was a little irritated that they made me go in and do it. So I was just like, you know what? I'm about to go in here and book it just because they promised me this and they didn't want to do it. So I studied, went in there, irritated, booked it. As soon as I left the audition, my agent called like, yeah, you good. I was like, okay, cool, bet. So then when I got to set, I think the irritation kind of carried over. But on sets prior, I never really studied before I went to work. I just kind of got to work because stuff changed all the time. But when I got
you don't study your lines before you get on the fucking set?
That's how
let me turn this off.
That's how I worked at the very beginning because I was really playing myself. Drano was me. All the characters was just me. So it was just like we was allowed to ad lib. We just had fun and they would just catch what we did. Long as it was close to the script, they'll just catch it. And so that's what I was used to. I wasn't at that point. I didn't consider myself as an actor. I was still hustling. But we had to go in the makeup trailer one time, and we had this really big scene. And Richard Roundtree was there, rest in peace. And Richard Roundtree was sitting in the makeup trailer. So the girls was doing everybody's makeup. He was in the chair next to me. And I was sitting in there getting ready to walk out. So I was just sitting there for a minute. And he just started talking. But it was the scene. I knew what it was. It was the scene because I had looked at it. But he just got to talking. So everybody was really in there listening because he didn't get no warning or nothing. He just started talking. And I was responding like, yeah, you know. And they kept looking at me like, and like, let him finish the story. They didn't know it was the scene.
I like this.
But he kept going.
Right.
And I was responding. So the makeup lady, Joanna, she was like, boy, if you interrupt him one more time, like you know, she talked to you like that's mom. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, she was like, nah, he's okay.
Who said it? He said
Richard Roundtree said he's okay.
Right, he's okay.
So he kept talking. And I let him finish the story. And I was like, at that point, what he told me in so many words was, be prepared, because I'm prepared. So it was like, that was like so next level for me, because I went right back to my trailer. I locked and loaded. And at that point, that's when I knew I could do it.
Wow,
that's when I know I could do it.
That's a dope. That's cool that he does. He did that too for you. You know what I'm saying?
He told me, go with your instincts. He said, you got really good instincts. He said, take your time, listen, do this, do that. Right. He was telling me what to do. He said, but be prepared. Always be prepared. Right. He said, because you never know. But he made sure that I was prepared that day.
You know, it's funny you say that. I like bringing actors on to talk to them too. I'm not a good auditioner. I'm keeping 100. I'm not a good auditioner. But once I get in that role, you know, you give me that role. I mean, I know the nuances. I was telling a young comic, I think a young comic about. He's like, man, P, you're so good in movies. I said, there's a couple things that you might want to think about when you act in, you know, or audition or whatever. One good thing if you keep if you do something like if I'm talking to you, I'm like, man, do you understand that the people like you? Just the fact I can say, do you understand what I'm talking about? That's one thing. But if you say, you know, you understand what I'm talking about? I'm the person that lives here.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Just do something. Oh, God, he's great. I'm just doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that doesn't mean just do anything with your hand physical, but just
you're making them pay attention to you.
Right, but
they're
have
watching
something.
You.
That and take a pause. See, like comedians, you know, but you could pause during your time.
Yeah, you got to have shades.
Is that what you call it? Okay, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tell people, just take a pause. Because no one talks like that. No one. But we worry about the lines so much, especially people who aren't trained. I mean, these are people not trained, like comedians or whatever, weren't trained. But I think you, like he said, I've seen you acting great to me. You take those pauses, you know, the moments. And sometimes you realize that. Take a moment, brother. It's okay.
You got to slow down. I stole from all the people I look up to.
I know that's right.
So Charles Dutton, he told me, slow it down, make it you. He always said that. He said, always give it a piece of you.
So that's actually interesting because I tell you a story. Being a director and a producer, when you come in the room, I'm not mad if you don't know the lines perfectly, but I want you to know the character and give me what I'm looking, because we can get you to the lines.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can get you to the character. I wrote a movie one time, and I wrote a movie for a guy himself. You know, he's a flamboyant comedian. I wrote his name in it. He came in, he couldn't even be himself, dude. He was like, yeah. I was like, calm down, just in action. And then I was like, what's wrong with you, man? And I want to give him to another person who killed the role. And then whenever I would see that flamboyant comedian, he's like, man, you gave somebody else my role. Now you lost your role. You couldn't even play yourself, man. And I understand the nervousness of it, but just go in there and give me 80% of the lines with the 100% character. Man, I got you. And I had to learn that.
Well, you're kind of old school in that sense because the game has changed so much now. Everything is self-tape.
Oh, yeah.
So you get no feedback. I mean, you know, luckily I go to a place where they're actually actors who read with you. And,
okay,
you know
that's dope.
They react. They know how to record it and everything. But you don't get the feel of that room no more. You know what I'm saying? So you got a bunch of people that's sitting at home, and I know people that'll book an hour, 2 hours for 3 lines. And they'll do those 3 lines for 2 hours until they get one great take.
Right.
And that's the take they sent in, and they book off of that one take. The problem is when they get to set, shit changes all the time. So you won't got 2 hours to shoot this 3 lines. You know what I'm saying? We should be shooting 3-4 scenes within this 2 hours, especially if you're on a smaller budget.
That's real.
So we don't have time to wait on you to get these 3 lines perfect. You see what I'm saying? So that's the watered down of the game right now, because everything is Tubi and everybody feels that's the disrespect of the game, because everybody feels like they can act
or be a stand-up comic,
and everybody can't. That's the problem. Yeah, or be a comedian. They can't be. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. Like that's really tough.
Right.
What they have to do, because you need that energy from the room to be able to go in there and own it and do this and do that. Because then on set everything is on this. They say, that didn't work. All right, let's do this. All right, rolling. Yeah. And you got to know it, and you got to be ready to rock. You got to stand and deliver at the end of the day. But you know, as everybody, they getting 20, 30,000 to shoot a Tubi movie. They go get their cousin and say, oh, well, she could play a hairdresser because she's a hairdresser at her shop. Right. She'll be good, and she's horrible. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And then the movies are horrible. So it's just, you know, they messed the game up a whole lot without having us go into that room. It's like you as a producer, you waiting on people to come in so you could feel the character, so you can see what he do.
Man, yeah.
Now it's none of that. Everybody just put it on tape and they send it in. So you just got somebody just sitting at the house that's just watching tapes all day.
When was the last time you went in?
About a week ago.
Oh, so you still have
I still go do self tapes, but to be honest, I ain't booked nothing on self tape.
A lot of people ain't booked that.
I ain't booked nothing on self tape.
Said they ain't never booked nothing on self tape.
Never booked nothing on self tape. You never know what they're expecting, because the thing is, the reason why I like The Room is because I could read it a certain way. It's tomato. I could read it a certain way. When I go in that room, just like you said, they could say, you know what, I like that choice, but he's more funny, angry. So you say, oh, okay, I got you. You get that adjustment, and now they can see if you could do it. So that shows that you have range.
Right.
Whatever choice you make on the self-tape, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So they'll just say, oh, he can't do it. He don't have range, because they never gave you an opportunity to even show that you have range. And plus, when
you walk in the room, your vibe fills with the situation, too. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You come in the room, and I'm like, okay, I see. I mean, I've booked stuff or come in stuff a certain way, and I walk. Are you the type of person that would get into character, or you walk in as who you want to be?
Nah,
back in the days when you were
I walk in, how y'all doing, whatever, and I give you my choice.
Oh, okay.
I'll stick with my choice, and then if you want to alter it, okay, let's do it this way. Boom. But the director or the casting director or one of the producers in the room, they'll give you that note, and you'll say, okay, cool, let's do it again. And you start over, you come in and you do it again, and give them that. Once they see you could do it, then they know you got the range. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have chops.
What role did you go off for you wanted that you didn't really get? Well, you didn't really get, but you didn't get. I can take a couple of my joints. You were close to it. Like, man, it could have been between me and this brother. Damn.
Well, me and Lil Rel tested for, but Lil Rel ended up booking it. But Lil Rel he fucking killed it. So I can't, you know what I'm saying?
Get Out?
Yeah, no, he did the Carmichael show.
Oh, okay.
I ended up working on the Carmichael show, but I did a guest star. You know what I'm saying? But me and Rel, I wanted that character, because that character was so funny, and we both was in there. He was like, man, and it was cool because just before Lil Rel like blew up, he was like, man, I'm a big fan, and I was like, oh, that's what's up. He from Chicago, really good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, I think at that time, because I'm a competitor, if I don't book it and I know he good, it's like playing ball. You be like, he got game though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have seen it. He could have did that, and like I said, he went and did it. He did a phenomenal job. So. It was like when I actually got to work with all of them on the show too, so that was cool.
That's dope. I was up for Day, you know, and I killed it. Steve Carr liked me, director liked me, but Cube wanted Mike Epps, and you know when I saw it, I was like, you know, Mike killed it. He was
Mike did his thing.
I couldn't even say.
Yeah, I could see you as Day. I could see that.
A couple times. I remember I lost twice to Chris Tucker. You know,
I lost to him too.
Yeah,
on Dead Presidents.
Wow! Oh wow! Really?
Yeah.
When I lost to him, the second I said, you know what, man? If his name come up, if he already for it, let him have it. Don't even. Cause he was hotter than at the time. I'm like, y'all gonna go with him. I'll say we had pretty much had Jackie Brown, the little character in Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown Carmen was the cast director.
Yeah,
he loved me. Lawrence Bender, Quentin Tarantino, call my people. I think he's gonna be the one. And Chris was like, you know what? I think I want that role. Big bank take little bank, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was high, he did money talks ready. He said, I want that role, took it. I was like, You know, he did a great job of that too. Yeah, you know? I was like, damn, some of the stories. I love hearing some of the stories, like how close we were on something. Like,
I was close on a lot with a lot of people over the years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and Ray J was up for 1-on-1 back in the day.
Wow,
we tested.
okay.
Yeah, you know, so I done tested against a lot of people. But at that point, you know, for me, like I said, it's competition because we all were friends.
Okay.
So if I didn't book it and one of the homies booked it, I'd be happy for them. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, the homie did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, congrats on that because it was a plethora of jobs.
Right.
So even if we didn't get this one, Black TV was hot. We could go do this show or that show or go do Steve Harvey show or go do the Wayans Brothers or, you know, Moesha or the Parkers. We could do any one of them shows.
Like that now, though.
No, it's definitely watered down. Everything is fighting in reality. And, everything is fighting in reality. All the girls fighting, throwing drinks, and it's just...
I do miss the 90s. That's one of the reasons I started the show because I would see some podcasts that was only taking the hottest, newest people. And I was like, hold on, man. I came from the 90s with some of the dopest. That's probably the best urban era for entertainment. Movies, TV shows, concerts,
clothes,
all that was popping in the 90s. And I was like, hold on now. We're not going to forget the 90s, folks. These are people, you know. So a lot of my people, if you see the show, were hot, you know, hotter in the 90s, whatever. You know, how you look at it. Was just popping more in the 90s. And they're still doing their thing to this day, but they came up in the 90s. I was like, no, we got to show respect to that. And, you know, the fans love it, you know, because they ain't seen some people in a long time. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. Speaking of the 90s, you was one of the biggest sitcom, Moesha, man.
Yeah, I did Moesha and the Parkers.
Yeah, right. But that, I mean, damn. And who was my man who passed? Bentley.
Yeah, Lamont. L-Rock. Rest in peace.
Yes, man. I heard y'all was tight. Yeah, he was a cool. We did the Wash together. What we call the Wash.
Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all did do the Wash together.
I remember one night he had you hung out. You went to his apartment, all that kind of.
Yeah.
Remember the apartment he had that it's in the you walk around inside like a little water thing and shit, whatever. You go out there the steps, walk to the door. I was going to see some chick I to meet, whatever, and he was sitting on the steps smoking a cigarette or a joint, whatever, and I was like. He was like the door back behind him. His door to his apartment was open and shit. And he was just sitting there chilling, man. I was like, wow, you know, just I expect him to just be sitting there. You know, I'm walking back. Is that Lamont? What the hell, nigga? He was a cool like. I don't know. I'm not gonna say a street dude, but he was a cool nigga, just a dude. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no Hollywood about it when I knew him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. And I know y'all was tight, real tight. Yeah,
that was my dog, man.
Damn.
I miss L-Rock, him and Vet. Like my whole group that I used to hang with, because you remember we used to do all the celebrity basketball games on the road.
Sure. Magic Johnson thing too.
Yeah, and there was me, Joe Torre, Bear, rest in peace.
Bear.
Vet, Lamont, Merlin. That was all my crew.
I was gonna say Merlin Santana too.
That was all my crew. Kennell, Shar, Cherry, like that was all my crew. You know what I'm saying? So Kyla Pratt when she was younger, like you know what I'm saying. All us was travel together all the time and do those games.
Wow, yeah, I liked him a lot too, and Merlin, man, what happened to Merlin? I was like, wow, man,
that's right around the corner from me.
Yeah, you know, it shows you sometimes jealousy is a beast, and people don't give a damn if you famous or not.
Nah, they don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they
damn
don't.
about your fame, you know. When somebody's angry, man, they just oof.
That's why you gotta like stay out the way. And you know what's crazy is I know like a lot of people they look at you like I said, it's a different. I have two different fan bases, so I'm blessed,
right,
in that sense because I have a crossover audience. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black people know me for sure. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of white people know me for sure. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. I run into a lot of black people. Man, you still acting? I ain't seen you in nothing in forever. I'll be like. You ain't watching the right channel.
Get off BET.
I ain't on BET. I ain't on there. Man, you got to do something for the hood. I'll be like, so you can bootleg it.
Like, oh damn! I love it. That's real.
It was like nah. So I go over here and get this different kind of money, and stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? I go stay out the way. It's a different network, different type of bread. You know, even the offers when they come at you is weird. And that's the thing that you run into now because it's so many. Everybody's doing something independent. Everybody's doing a Tubi project. But the problem that you have to, I was just explaining this to my boy the other day. It's like, man, but when you do so many of those, you water yourself down to where the big studio execs don't look at you like you worth that no more because you doing that.
Come on.
I'd rather throw $300 on a 2-team parlay and see if I could make this same money that you offering me, when I know I'm gonna have to deal with the bullshit when I get to the set, and then I'm gonna be like, it's like Michael Jordan with a bunch playing at the Y with a bunch of YMCA guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have to tell people all the time, as an actor, all we have is our performance. That's it. You don't have nothing else. That's it. You got your performance and your reputation. That's it. That's all. So if you go do this bootleg project and they hired all their cousins to star in a movie with you, and the project is ass, but he spent $30,000, but he made $60,000. It's a plus for him as a producer because he doubled his money.
Sure.
But for me, I made 3 racks.
Right.
But the project is ass.
Right.
And now, you know what I'm saying, the project is ass, and I can't use this project to show somebody, yeah, I just worked on that. And let them go watch it, be like, he probably did that for $50. Let's offer him $60.
Come on,
see if we could get him to do that. You see what I'm saying? So
I get that shit.
It waters you down in that aspect, so you have to be real cautious on what you take over the years.
Right.
Like, you have to be real cautious that, especially getting older, you have to be cautious on what type of roles you take.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
For longevity purposes. You see what I'm saying?
Now, let me ask you, this kind of runs all into it then. I mean, a lot of people think when we're acting, we rich as hell, you know, constantly making money all the time. Sometimes you say you got to do ass projects, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, bills are paid. And, you know, when you first making money, we're humans, man. We buy stuff we like. Bigger house, a nice car. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't like when people, you know, if someone hits a negative in their life, that's what they get. Man, they bought all them cars. Man, what's wrong with y'all? You two out there would buy a nicer car, you made more money. It is what it is. You know, for a while, more money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not the first lick, but if you keep making lick after lick, you're going to buy some nice stuff. And when stuff dies down, why should y'all look at me as an ass because I got to maybe sell my shit now or downgrade because the movies, because people don't realize every project we do after it's over, we fired. We got to get another job. Post office, you can work for 40 years straight as long as you know you come to work every day.
Yeah,
it's different with us.
Check. Yeah, you get one lump sum and deal with it. You might not work the rest of the year, but you got to know how to do it. So, I mean, but that's where for me it always came into play because me being from Chicago and doing certain stuff that I was doing, because I got into the game and I was hustling. It was when there ain't no acting, I'm hustling. I'm a hustler now. I'm not an actor who just needs to act. You see what I'm saying? But there are actors who just, I'm going to just take that project because I'm acting. I'm going to just, me, I'm going to take a penitentiary chance. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I've done it, you know, time and time again.
I was going to ask you about the credit situation. Yeah. Is that what that was the scenario? Like, hey, man, I need money.
Well,
I'm gonna delve into some shit that.
No, when I went to prison, it was weird because I went to prison for lying to a chick, right? So it was crazy because stuff that you can actually do for yourself, game, like Snoop said it best, game is to be sold and not told. Right. So what happened was, you Pierre the comedian, you could turn your first and your last name and make yourself a corporation. And you could get a tax ID number. Okay, right. And the name of that company is your name. Right. Edward you know Pierre. What I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So then you could call the IRS and they'll give you a free tax ID number. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I would take that. I had about 3 or 4 corporate credit cards that I had, you know, in my business or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I would just add you on them. Yeah, I want to add this new person to and I would add Pierre. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I would say, they would ask for the Social Security number. The tax ID number that you was given, I would add that. In 30 days, it would hit that credit report. So now I knew 2 places where I could take that information and just apply, and you gonna get approved, guaranteed. Wow! Because you know the banking system. Right. Wow. But you don't know how to do that. It costs $60 to do it. White people taught us how to do it. It's in the book. So I'm gonna charge you $10,000 to do it because your credit's so bad. You give me $10,000. It's a money back guarantee. I'm going to get you a whole new Social Security profile that you can use for credit. But it's really, I just took your name and just went down to the to the county clerk and was like, yeah, I want to file this as a DBA. Right. Yeah, cool. $60, cool, run it. Call the IRS for you. Yeah, my name is so-and-so. Read all of your information. Right. They give me the tax ID number. Then I add you on my credit card and I just wait. 3 weeks, you got a whole new life. Them credit cards come in your name because it says that's the name of your company. Right, it's your name. Right, so now you can use it. You got ID to use it. It was simple.
I love it.
But it was so simple. Right. I had this chick that was like, she was bringing me clients because I did it for her. So she was charging them 15. I was charging them 10 grand. She wasn't doing no work, but niggas, she got greedy. Ooh. She wanted to do what I was doing. So she started asking me, well, what are you doing? So I couldn't just tell her what I was doing because it was that simple to do it. Right. So I made it sound hard. I made up a whole story. Yeah, I got this guy that works here. And da-da-da-da-da-da. And she had gotten in some kind of trouble and hooked me up with this other dude, and I told him the same thing because I didn't want them just going to do it. But if they did the investigation, they would know I was full of shit. I just lied, so they recorded the conversation and they really believed it. That was the problem. They really believed it. So when they came and got me, I was like, okay. So when they took me down to the building, like, we need you to write down what you did. And I wrote down, I didn't do shit, and handed it back to them. They're like, well, you'll see the judge in the morning. Cool. Right. I'm lawyered up. Right. So I get my lawyer to come down. Bam. Well, I fight this case for a whole year, and I'm on one of the biggest shows at that time. I'm the only black on an all-white show. Right, sure. I have a morality clause in my contract with Warner Brothers and everything. The lawyers from Warner Brothers are actually at the trial, so they going, once they start hearing the evidence, they like, you didn't do nothing. I know. But because I'm on this show, they're going to try to railroad me to make it seem like I did something. Yep. But sure. I was lying to a bitch. Real talk. That's what happened. I was lying to a chick. Right. And y'all believed it. But, nigga, I'm an actor.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? You believed it. That ain't my fault that you don't believe it.
And cut scene.
Yeah, where's your evidence? They had no evidence. So how I got off the hook, I did that for the U.S. attorney that was prosecuting me. I did it for him. I said, I'm going to show you how easy this is because y'all asking me a ton of questions. So I got his first and last name. I went down there. I said, now you could call and get the tax ID number yourself because he didn't want to give me his information. So he got it 2 weeks later when that stuff came in the mail. When I went back to court, the judge was like, I don't even know how to convict you. I was facing 30 years, bro. What? I was facing 30 years.
Off of a lie.
She was like, I don't know what to do. Just go to halfway house. So, but they sent me to, she was like, well, you're in federal prison. You're in federal court. I can't give you less than 3 months. I can't. It's just a statute. I can't. Nobody has ever come to, unless they walk out of here just scot-free. But I can't just give you that. But because I had a criminal record from when I was younger from Chicago, she was like, just go do 60 days and go back to work. I'll write everything up because I have to give you something. I can't just let you walk out because it's not an acquittal because you're saying you working with them. But what it was, the government was so stupid because they said something in court that didn't make sense. What they said in court was, he was like, yeah, Your Honor. She was like, so is it true you don't have any evidence of what you're trying to accuse Mr. Tanner of? You've been following him for 5 years. You're the government. You have all the resources and everything. They was like, well, no, Your Honor, not at this time, but Mr. Tanner's so highly sophisticated, we have our doubts. That's what their answer was. So I whispered to my lawyer, like, niggas ain't supposed to know that shit. But I didn't know, the mic is right there, that she heard me. So she was like, what did you say? And she was like, scratch that from the record. I want him to stand up and say what he said. So I stood up. I said, what I said was, niggas ain't supposed to know this shit. That's what he means by when he's saying he's highly sophisticated and we have our doubts. But nigga, I went to school. You know what I'm saying? I learned in economics class. I learned in those classes, and I read those books. I'm a straight A student. I graduated with a 3.97 GPA.
Oh, nice.
You know, I'm salutatorian of my class in 93. You know what I'm saying? So I'm smart. I paid attention in class. I was in honor society and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, what he's saying is the white folks teach their kids this. The black folks ain't supposed to teach their kids that. I just happen to be a lucky black kid who learned and actually read that chapter and understood it the way y'all understood it. So I use the same rules as the white boys, but now y'all mad because I use the same rules as the white boys. That ain't cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? So she was just like, sounds good to me. You don't have any evidence of what you're accusing him of. So I don't know how to. He's gonna work with us. He's gonna work with us. Like, he's going to take a deal. I was like, yeah, but I'm not telling. Like, who y'all want me to tell on? The people that y'all looking for are non-existent.
Right.
I don't know Lisa. I don't know Craig. I don't know Cliff. These are people I made up. That's why y'all can't find nobody, because I don't know nobody that work at the credit card card place. I'm telling y'all what I did. I took his name. I turned him into a corporation. I got a tax ID, and I got him some credit. And now he could use it himself for life. He just gonna have to pay their little fee every year to the government. They want their fee for you having an LLC. Now they teaching all this shit right now on Instagram. You got all these people with these platforms. Man, I was doing this in the 90s. You see what I'm saying? Like, and it was so simple, but it cost me $60. But if you're gonna pay me $10,000 to change your life, what is it worth to you? You can't get approved for that Escalade without putting $20,000 down. But if I do this,
You can, right.
You can get approved for that. You get approved for your house. You got $10,000 in credit cards now. You can't get approved for a top ramen, but I showed you how to get approved for everything else. You know what I'm saying? So now y'all mad because this is consumer law. They don't want niggas knowing consumer law. We dangerous when we know that.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, because we can run up a bag, and that's what these young boys is doing right now. They running up a bag because they understand consumer law.
Right.
Collection agencies hitting you up, they harassing you. These people is teaching that. Nah, you could sue the collection agencies. They teaching it. And when they teach it, the people who have those banks are going online, cutting them people off.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got a homeboy who owns like a tax, like your government some money, you call them and they help you with the tax. He was like, you could do the same thing.
Yeah, you could do it yourself.
He was like, but people are afraid of the IRS and shit, so they come to us.
We was taught like that.
And we're going to get the money we need to get from you, you know what I'm saying? But you could basically call and say, you know what I'm saying, and say the same shit that we're going to say, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm going to charge you for saying it because I know the verbiage to tell them. It's the same thing.
But you're right. You could almost, like I said, if you come in there with a mindset of, I only got this to pay, whatever, can we work this out for this? A lot of times when you talk to them, they'll work it out. You know what I'm saying? They'll work it because they really don't put you in jail. He said they don't want to put you in jail. They want the money.
They want the money. Yeah.
So yeah, that ain't good. But wow, that's that. Yeah. How did it feel? Your name all up on the shit, and you in jail and all that.
Man, you got so many people that's just talking and oh my God, I hope you rot in jail. You sold all these people this, and I never sold nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when the government came, they was like, well, who gave you the Social Security numbers? I said, you.
Oh.
And they said, what you mean you? I said, the government, the IRS gave me them numbers.
Right.
They're free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gave me all of the numbers. And then when they looked at all of the numbers, they was like, all of these are tax ID numbers. Right. Every single one of them was tax ID numbers. I love it. Warner Brothers, so the thing is, Warner Brothers never fired me.
I was going to ask you that.
So I went and did those little few months, got out of federal prison, and went right back to work. But I could have never went right back to work if I did what they said I did because of my morality clause. They would have fired me for doing what they thought I did.
Right.
But I literally went to prison for lying to a bitch on the phone, and they recorded the conversation, and they actually believed it. Even my lawyer was like, what kind of shit are you into? I said, man, all that's made up.
Right.
Because I didn't want to let her know what I was doing because she was bringing me 10 clients every month. So I'm making $100,000 cash, tax free, just for hooking you up. You know what I'm saying? But she was making 50.
Damn.
But she got greedy and wanted to make it all. You see what I'm saying? She didn't have to do nothing but just bring the people to me. And I'm talking, she was bringing big names to me, like big names.
Right.
I ain't got no attorney-client privilege or nothing like that, but I ain't gonna put their name out there like that. But I was doing big people name. Half of Def Jam, just put it that way. I did half of Def Jam and Rockefeller. I did all of that. I did all of that for them because everybody credit was so bad at the time, and everybody wanted to drive an Escalade or a Land or a Beamer or a Benz. That was the 90s. They wanted to drive that, and they couldn't get that without credit. But I showed them how. You see what I'm saying? I just showed them how because I was already set up. I knew how to do it. I knew how to run business already. But it wasn't because, like I said, I took it as a hustle because Terrence Howard is the one who was showing me a lot of stuff like, Twan, you got to set yourself up. You got to be a corporation. You got to do this. So Big Bro always,
do stuff like
him and Talent put me up on game to know the business. It wasn't about the art.
Right.
With Terrence always was like, well, Twan, listen. He was like, Drano, because they all call me Drano. So he was like, Drano, listen, I moved to Philly. If they want you, they gonna come get you. It don't matter where you at. They gonna come get you. So I ain't staying in L.A. I'm going back to Philly. So he went back to Philly, and they came and got him from Philly. Look at him now.
Hell yeah.
Talented as hell, but he gonna do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big Bro been doing his thing.
Come on, you, man, like I said, when I did research on you, brother, you've been doing your thing, man. And like I said, I would always see you around, but I started doing it. I was like, damn, my man been working. Then when I found, the situation with the credit situation, yeah. But I like the fact that, you just like, you basically did to them what they do to us.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They, hey, no crime here. If someone wants to pay for this, the X amount of money, hey, this is what it is. I'm just showing them how to do it. Y'all just mad. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you ain't never heard of nobody facing 30 years in prison, end up doing 3 months,
right,
And I ain't got no snitch jacket. My paperwork clean. Right. Never had no 5K because I've never worked with the authorities. You know what I'm saying? If I did anything, like I told him, I said, y'all don't even make no sense. You trying to say I did this and I sold all of this and I sold it, and I ain't make no money? That's a red flag right there. I'm never going to do nothing and make everybody else rich and I don't make nothing. That don't make no sense. So I told him I was charging them people $10,000 each, money back guaranteed. I have everything done for you in 60 days.
But they didn't want you to. What about they ain't trying to get you on a tax evasion type of thing?
I ain't had no tax evasion. I filed my taxes every year like I was supposed to. But on that it was just that was the hustle. That's what I meant by when acting jobs ain't happening. Right. I was hustling, and that's what I was doing. I was helping people fix their life, and people was paying for it, and they was paying cash. And back then it was just cash, so I could still look like I was still making a lot of money on TV, but I was making way more money helping people, you know what I'm saying, get their life back together.
I ain't know if the government was trying to say, hey, hold on, man, you made, $250,000.
Man, I was making $100,000 a month clean, easily for a couple years.
No.
Yeah, a couple years until old girl got so greedy. I'm like, her name was Michelle. I'm like, Michelle,
you cheated.
You making like 70,000. Right. A month. You making 5,000 off of every person you bringing me. You bringing me 10 to 15 people every month. You don't got to do nothing, and you don't have one unsatisfied customer. Right. Not one. And when I'm saying 60 days, it's really done in 30. Sometimes 3 weeks. And me, I got so cold. I knew the reporting dates. When I knew I could add you on my credit card, I knew, okay, if they come in by the 12th, they're gonna hit their credit report by the 15th. I could apply on the 16th. They'll be approved by the 20th. So you could come on me at the 12th, and I'm telling you 60 days, and you got 2 credit cards showing up at your door in 2 weeks. And you like, what the hell is this? What do I do? Call and activate. I love it. You good. And they was like, so once they saw that, it was, let me tell my people. And everybody was telling their people, man, I gave him 10,000. I got 10,000 in credit cards right back. Right. So I'm good. Right. And they was going to buy houses and cars, and they was going to do everything that they were supposed to do. Everybody, they was flossing, and it was all entertainment people too. That's why I said Def Jam and Rockefeller, all of them. I was doing all, but because she was a business manager for them, so she would bring them to me because they had all this money all of a sudden, but their credit was shit. Shitty, yep. And so it's either pay all this extra interest fees and you know what I'm saying and stuff like that, or pay him 10, and now your down payments is gonna be low, and you could rock out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. I still know how to do it, but you could do it right now to this day with no problem. You could leave up. I could go tomorrow and file Antwon Tanner as a corporation, and I could and get a tax ID.
LLC, or you mean a
corporation? Nope, a C corp. I file it as a corporation. I could file it as a corporation today. I could go get a business account today. You see what I'm saying? As long as I got the paperwork. All I need is the articles and the tax ID number from the IRS.
We're going to talk after this show.
And I'm good. It's
done.
Right,
before we get out here, I got a couple things, man. I really enjoyed this, man. I do a couple things. I do this one thing called Hoes and Bros.
Okay.
Hoes or Bros. And what it is, as I say these things, your first instinct, is it a bro thing to do? You know, bro-ish. That's some hoe shit. Oh, that's some hoe shit.
Right. Okay.
You can't think about it. Let me think of my cousin made. No, what's your instincts? When I tell you, you got 3 seconds to tell me what it is. I'm gonna bring up a couple things. You tell me what you think. All right. And this is for somebody over 25, like a man. And I know 18, 19-year-olds.
Okay.
Grown-ass man. You know what I'm saying? At least 25 years old. Okay, is it hoe-ish or bro-ish? All right. Facials.
Broish.
Broish? Okay. You all right with the facial?
And our business has got to be broish because we got to have them.
Right. Okay. All right. A charm bracelet. Guy wearing a charm bracelet.
Hoish.
Damn. Hey, give me my charm bracelet. Okay, damn. Eddie Murphy wear one. Damn.
When you said charm bracelet, I just could picture something with hearts on it.
I'll give you boxing. Come on. All right. That's all good. All right. We're going to be quick with it. All right. Here we go. Skinny jeans.
Hoish.
Damn. Oh, wait. All right. That's cool. All right. The predominant color, all in the predominant color. Pink. Guy wearing pink.
Hoish.
Damn. Cameron wear pink. Nigga got the pink shit. Come on.
Not all pink. He blended in with some.
I didn't wear pink. I
do got a couple pink shirts though.
Okay, that's all right.
It's salmon.
Right.
They salmon.
I thought you say salmon. Okay, okay. Now this is all of your body, every crevice, all of your body. Here we go. Manscaping.
Broish.
Bro, damn. All right. I don't know you. I don't know. Antwon's a little, I'll be surprised. All right.
Women like clean.
I ain't mad at you.
love clean.
You're right. All right. Wearing Chelsea boots.
What the hell are those?
Most guys have that. The boots that come up to here, man. The boots come they long, but they would come up to here. The short joints,
Not cowboy boots?
No, not cowboy boots.
Oh, then hoish.
Damn.
Yeah, I ain't
Hold on. Richard Roundtree and
Shafty
Shafty wore them suckers, the wearing them up to here, the jeans and the pants.
See, I'm picturing the old ones that they wore, like, I'm going to get you sucker with the fish tank.
Oh, hell, no, those are stacked. No. I'm talking about the Chelsea boots. That's all right. It'll pop up on it. I'll have it popped up on the screen. All right. Eating a pizza with a knife and fork.
Huh? Hoish.
Okay, some people cut, yeah. So
you just grab
some people, I got my suit on, man. I can't do it. I got my suit on. LA, you know the LA dudes are.
That's crazy.
All right, texting your homeboy just the letter K when you agree with something.
Hoish.
Damn. Gotta be okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can't just put the K.
Yeah.
Damn, okay. How about, and this is just for conversation, not showing something, conversation. FaceTiming your homie.
Broish.
Really?
Yeah, because
I know what you look like.
Nah, because
You know what you up to,
that's
man?
the only way that it's unencrypted the way they could talk. So they call you FaceTime.
Oh, okay. All
Anybody
right,
that been to jail, they call you FaceTime.
All right,
or audio.
You got different reasons. I'm running real quick. Okay, what about a tattoo behind your ear? Come on.
Hoish.
Hoish?
Yeah, depending on what it is. I just see when you say that, I just imagine a butterfly.
Hell no! I got to be. God damn. All right. When a man's talking, just cross his legs. So what's up, bro? We good? What's up?
I would say hoish.
Hoish? I thought elegant men do that with nice suits on and shit, man.
Yeah,
They hoish. All right.
Kevin Samuels, them.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels,
Yeah, but they do it different.
All right. Here we go. I'm knocking them out real quick for you. They could ask, but if they ask, a woman paying on the first date. Had a woman pay on the first date.
Hoish.
That's hoish? If she want to take you out, you're like, nah, I got to pay first.
Yeah.
Really? Why you got to pay first?
I don't know. That's just tradition. I was raised by 3 women, so.
Okay. All right. How about when you see a guy and a girl? It could be sports event, but they dress alike.
Broish. I say broish.
Bro, you see how little Timbs, you got Timbs on.
They're still old school. They always wore outfits back in the day when they got them little.
All right. TikToking with your girl. Dancing or some shit on TikTok.
Oh, hoish.
Yeah. I don't know. Fuck all that. Your girl dancing together and shit. Really, nigga, really.
I ain't got that wrong. I ain't got that rhythm.
Is that what it is? You get that rhythm? All right, come on. What about a man wearing clear nail polish?
Hoish.
Damn. I got this shit together, man.
Hey, I ain't get mine done. I just bite them or use the little thing.
All right. Okay. What about in the car, even solo, especially solo, but singing a female song?
Hoish.
Like a Beyonce,
Yeah, hoish. Yeah.
Niggas can't do that.
You sing R. Kelly.
Right. All right.
But you can't even sing R. Kelly no more.
Shit, I can't. Well, shit. I ain't throwing them good music. I can separate. You know what I'm saying? I can say, all right, I think I got one more. Last one. No, I know where it's going at. It's funny. This is an actual real question. A man wearing Crocs.
Broish.
I knew you were going to say that. That out. Let the camera, that out.
All the basketball players wear Crocs.
What the fuck that mean? Some whole ass basketball player.
Yeah, all the basketball players, they wear Crocs.
That's funny.
I looked at them first like, man, what are they? And after we, because we go play tournaments and they be all day. Mm-hmm. So it's like after the game.
Your feet hurt a little something.
Yeah, you got to take them shoes off and you want your feet to air and knees comfortable. You just be like, okay, I can rest them until the next game.
Is that what we're going with? We're going with that? Okay, we got to rest them. But the other niggas who ain't playing basketball, just walking around in the mall with them and shit, they
Yeah, that's the bro thing.
That's
man.
the bro
Everybody
thing?
got them
Oh,
on.
boy.
All the men got them.
I mean, some of these answers I've asked everybody. Steven Jackson, I've phased on everybody. And I don't know, boy. Some of y'all pick this one. Some of y'all pick that one. Some of y'all pick that one. It's kind of funny how it's, I got a little game I play real quick before we get you out of here. It's called Spin the Wheel. And so whatever it land on, we need you to participate in. It can be like, it can be anything. We can tell a secret you never told nobody, something you want to get off your chest, a story how you lost your virginity, biggest lie you ever told before, who'd you change your place with, why and what reason, who would you change place with if you could, even though you love yourself, I get that. And if one thing you can live without, if a girl had 3 things, then it's got to be the worst: face, teeth, or booty. You get 2 that you can't live without, 1 you could. Out of the teeth, the face, or the booty, which one you like, man? And it's toe up. Teeth fucking hanging out the roots, the body big as like big girls or whatever, or the booty flat as hell, whatever. So you tell me how you rock with it. So what we're gonna do is let you spin this wheel wherever it land on. We need you to participate on. Count of 3, 1. Give it a little roll call. Get that money. What the? Hoish. That's a ho. I didn't put hoish.
Okay, one more.
What did you just do that for? There we go. Did it move? Yep. Where'd it go to? Lost your virginity. Hell no. So, you got a minute. Just tell us a story.
She was not cute.
I don't care.
But she had a body like she was like
Hold on.
23.
Give us the thing. How old were you at the time?
Okay.
Where'd you meet her at? How'd you get down? To what rooms you go to? Hotel, your house?
She was.
Paint the picture. You acted.
I think I was in like 7th grade.
Okay.
I think I was in like 7th grade, and
Nice.
the girl was she was 14.
Okay.
And she.
How old were you at the time?
I was 11.
Damn, old lady.
I was 11.
Old head.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was like, but we always, man, I've been getting pussy. We wasn't getting nothing.
Right.
But that's what we said. We was at my homeboy Al Lomax. We was at his house in the Hundreds, and his parents was never home, so we had the basement, and he had the extra room in the basement.
Sure.
And I was like, kind of talking to her like, I'm gonna get it. She had these big old titties, big old ass, and she was just like thick for no reason back then. Like she was way overdeveloped for 14.
Of course.
And we was just like, damn, like she looked like a woman. So we get downstairs after it's supposed to crack. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Was it a lot of y'all down there, or just you and her?
Well, my boys they was out playing the video games in the basement, but we had went in the bedroom because my boy was messing with her cousin.
Okay.
That's how we got it in.
Okay.
And we go in the room. And I never forget, it was the funniest shit because I had sucked her titties and I got real hard and I was like, let me put on this little condom. I had a blue one and a gold one. And I put it on. Okay. And then I said, hey girl, open your coochie. She was like, it's already open. I was like, oh, it is.
That's funny.
I never forget.
Right.
And I don't even want to say, like, I don't even know if I can find her on Facebook, but when I did see her on Facebook years ago, I was like, oh, damn, that's her? I'm way cuter than her. So now I don't claim her. She's just in the story.
Right.
So that's it.
Wow. Yeah. Did y'all do it again?
No, that was it. That was
first
it.
Time?
First time.
Yeah, first time.
Then she got pregnant a whole bunch of times by some other dudes.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So she did her thing. But she didn't live in our area. She was from like the O Block area where you know what I'm saying? She was over there. She was a project chick. So she was over there, but I was in the Hundreds. So my cousin was my boy was messing with her cousin. And he was like, I got somebody for you.
Right.
So he kind of put it on. So I told her, oh yeah, I'm 14 too. But I was 11.
Right.
We was in 7th grade.
I remember when it happened to me, I messed with this girl and I had no hair. I had like 2 pubes, bing, bang, 2 little pubes on my shit. And she had a bush. And she was like, project chick. And I was like, oh my God, her shit big. All the hair. I was like, oh my God. I got 2 pubes and shit. Bing, bang, bing. Like an old guitar been plucked and bang, bang and shit. I was like, oh shit. I remember I tried to put my shit in her hair. On top of it. I was like, she had to grab it and push it down a little lower.
Yep.
I was like, oh, all right, down there and shit. And I went raw. So I had no blue or gold condom. I went raw dog it. Yeah, I went raw dog.
You need that to show. So when you leave the room, you're like, look.
Oh, wow.
I did it. And they was like, what he did?
Wow.
We was hood.
I was, oh man, that shit was. And she had a brother who was a football player, and he was a short, cocky dude. And I remember fucking on the living room, what do you call it? Not an ottoman, what do you call it? A recliner. And I was looking at the back of the door. I was like, oh, it's scanned because the projects had them, what do you call them metal cheap first door and then the real door. You know, and then slam, it always slams. I'm waiting for that bitch to open. And I'm like nervous and shit, trying to keep my shit up and looking back and shit. But I got it done.
Yeah.
She had a lot of hair on her legs too, boy. She was
mine was bushy too. She was a little Wolverine.
Hell yeah, I enjoyed that.
She was a Wolverine.
Bring the bush back, ladies. I like the bush, okay? And I like the bush. I look, some people don't give you shit when you do their podcast, but I will. Here's a swag bag. Check it out. Pull out the stuff. See what it is. Nah, man, come on. I do it. I try to give out gifts, man. You know what I'm saying?
You're the only one.
That's all right, though. Look at that. That's a soft shirt.
So many for free. That's just like whatever. Cool.
I'm going to show some. Look at that, boy.
Oh, that's what's up. Pierre's Panic Room.
It's a large. You know, you might need an extra large. You're large.
No, this is large. I'm good.
Yeah, you good, right?
I'm getting back in the gym.
And everything. Yeah, man.
I'm going back in there. I got to get this. I can't, because I'm about to do it. They about to reboot my show, One Tree Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We started in January, so I can't be on camera with a dad bod.
Okay, right. I respect that. I respect that.
I got to make sure I'm good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the next version of this right here. What's that thing say? My 100
homies and phonies of Hollywood.
Ooh-wee!
Oh,
I met a whole bunch of celebrities, brother.
I have to.
You could write the same book, brother. Trust me.
I sure can.
You know what I'm saying? Who was real? Who wasn't real?
I know the homies and the phonies, and I could give a shout out to a couple people that I know for sure that did everything they said. It was the Gerard Carmichael was one of the first dudes that. You know, he was one of the first dudes, but like Brian Robbins, Mike Tolan, they was, you know what I'm saying, real good dudes. But as far as on the black side, you know, you always, oh man, do this for me for the short. I got you. Sign this letter of intent. I got you. You sign the letter of intent. They go get the money. They don't even hire you. They hire somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
That's not cool. Right.
But Gerard Carmichael, when I tested for the Gerard Carmichael show, when I didn't get it, he was like, yo, bro, man, you was so dope, man. Don't trip. I'm going to have something for you. I promise you. And no lie, after that show got picked up, probably like episode 6, I just got a call. Direct offer. I'm like, for what? The Carmichael show, Gerard Carmichael, he offered me double what the pay was and everything. Good brother. He just looked out. I was like, damn. I was like, he one of the first ones that actually said he was going to do something and actually just
did it.
It was out of sight, out of mind, and he just did it. Got me on the show and everything. I was like, yo, that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like one of the first ones that like when they know you didn't get it, and he was like, I got you. He was one of the first brothers that did that.
Right.
Like far as on the black side. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I can see that. And he seems to be a good dude. You know, what's his name speaks highly of Lorel. It's unfortunate, you know, what do you call it, sexuality? People just want to go negative at him. Like, hold on, that's a good brother.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude,
don't let
man.
that be the thing. But you know how sometimes in the black community, you know, if you don't run the way we want you to run,
that's his sexual preference, and I'm proud of him for coming out, for being who the hell he is. He spoke his mind. He did what he did. You know what I'm saying? And so what? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got to sleep with him. He sleep with who he want to sleep with.
Right.
So they shouldn't have to judge him for that. You know what I'm saying? Before just being a solid dude.
Yeah.
He a solid dude, man.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
Well, I'm glad you said that for those, you know, because you know a lot of times, you know, if I talk about, cause I'm pro everybody getting their right to do what they want to do. You know, I'm not about to do all that judging. As long as they ain't criminal activity, as far as law, criminal, I don't give a damn. Live how you want to live. You know what I'm saying? It's your life. You know, it's your one life. But a lot of people talk about people like that, and they live a funky ass life. They ain't doing shit correct and stuff like that. And they swear they good and stuff. Like, hold on, what about your shit? You take care of your kids? Do you pay your child support? You know what I'm saying? Are you ain't beating your woman and shit? Like, come on, dude. You worry about something like that? But that's how some people rock out.
But you got to understand, it's social media now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got people who they could voice their opinion, and then a lot of people do it just. Like, cause I've been married almost 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been with my wife almost 30 years. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, my fans, they think, oh, I like blonde girls because of my character on the show. You know what I'm saying? I got black kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they don't know. But it's just, I never forgot I had a fan one time go on my page, and they like, you know, cause my wife don't let me, it ain't that I don't post pictures of my wife, but my wife is so anal about posting pictures. You have to get approval before you post a picture of her. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be scared. I don't know what to post, man. I thought it was cute. You see my arm? So I don't even post them. You know what I'm saying? So you got certain, but it was a girl that went on my page one time and was like, soon as I post a picture, he tried to talk to me at so-and-so club last week at woo. And I was like, what? I wasn't even in the city. Right. So I'm just like, so I responded like, why would you do that? If you know somebody in a relationship, why would you? She's like, oh my God, thank you so much for responding.
Of course, they want you to respond. Right.
I was like, really? This what y'all do? You know what I'm saying? So people go out of their way. So that's when we had to learn that social media was different. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh wow. So you got the keyboard, you know what I'm saying? These keyboard gangsters that just sit back and do whatever the hell they want to do. So.
Man. That camera right there, let your folks know how they can reach you on social media or whatever.
Everybody can reach me on Instagram, Antwon Tanner 2214. That's ANTWON TANNER 2214. That's my Instagram handle. That's usually the only one that I'm on. But I'm also Antwon Tanner 2214 on TikTok, but I don't really know how to use it yet. So
what's 2214?
It's just my number is 22. Wow. That's where I'm from in the hundreds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm from the Wow. And my birthday's on the 14th. So
that's how we came up with it. 2214 though, man.
Yeah.
Look, brother, I appreciate you coming here, chilling with me, man, doing the show right here. I learned a lot about you, brother, and I'm pretty excited. Like I said, when I did my research on you, I was like, wow, I can't talk about all this shit. Lord have mercy, we'd be here for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, I work
shit,
a lot.
I
mean, I've been blessed.
Yeah,
and I just did a movie a couple months ago in Rhode Island called A Witness to Murder. That's gonna be on Lifetime with Serena Vincent. She was the star of Cabin Fever.
Okay, I remember.
You know what I'm saying? I work with a lot of good, white actresses and white actors who.
Yeah. So the checks are clearing.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about somebody baby mama picking me up from the airport when I land to go do the movie.
I love it. Come on, that's real shit.
Yeah, we got the horror stories.
No, I love it, man. Give it up, y'all. For Mr. Antwon Tanner.
Appreciate you having me, man. Real talk. Appreciate it.
Another episode of Pierre's Panic Room. Like I said, I always have the best guests, man. This guy was no different, man. I really enjoyed him, man. I really support the brother, man. He's a good brother. Really is, man. He's been in for 30 years. I'm telling you, it's not easy being in for 30 years and always working, man.
Yeah.
And if you got a credit card problem, holla at my nigga. Your credit shady, nigga.
They got a whole platform for it.
Yeah, we'll do that, man. All right, we'll holla at y'all later, man. Thank y'all for watching Pierre's Panic Room, and I'll see y'all the next time around.
The king can't always be the damn king by itself. I need servants to step up.
Turn me up a little bit.
If you like that show, like, subscribe, and comment below. Hit the notification bell. Hit the subscribe button, man. We want you around. Appreciate it.